Okay, in this session we're going to look at how we can actually generate a random number that needs to be guessed by the end user, and also how do we go about setting up our game. So let's get underway. So now that we've actually got the session size that comes in, we can then generate the random number that they need to guess. So to do that, we're going to use a little bit of a formula. So we're going to create a new session variable. And this session variable is going to be called number to guess. Now this is going to store the random number. So what we're going to use now is a PHP random number. So we're going to go rand, and this is going to help us create an integer. We need to set the start value, which is going to be 0. Then we need to put the end value. Now we know what the end value is because we've stored the information in game size. So we're going to use that session variable called game size to give us the upper range of the random number. So to access that, we're going to have to use the $session again, and then game size. And then place a semicolon on the end of the line. We also need to make sure that this is working, so I'm just going to copy this and paste below. Just have that in. And just put number to guess and the number to guess. Now when I moved off and back, you see how this turned to blue, this also turned to blue, so I know they're spelled correctly. So I'm just going to save this now and go run this. So refresh the page, press enter. You can see that no session has been submitted. Let's click easy. There you go, number to guess is 6. Let's click it again. It's now 7, 5. If I pick to 100, it's now 41. Now we are going to be removing all this information at the top. So I like to put a cheat in my page, especially when I'm developing. Notice down the bottom with the year date, I've got XX. I can actually go into the footer and use this session information right here. So I'm just going to copy that at the moment and go into my footer. I'm going to start a session. And then right where that XX is, I'm going to just end the quote early. And then I'm going to add the session variable number to guess and just save that now. So when I go back to my game, reload the page, you can see down the bottom it still has the previous number from this previous session. But when I click on 10, you see in the year now, it's got 206, so the number is 6 to guess. See how designed is hard up against that? So we can fix that right now. So moving back, we'll just put a space here so it looks a little bit normal. Save that. Once again, press enter. You can see it's just got 206. Now it's 202, 2045. So we know the number is 45. So there's a little cheat we've built into the game. So when we play it, we know how to get the answer really quick. But how do I now go about starting the game once I've generated my random number? Well, I'm going to need a new file. So I'm going to add a file, and this is going to be called game.php. Now, this is going to be our game that we play. So the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a H tag in there. And then I'm going to close that H tag off. Now I'm just going to save that. Now what I want to happen is when I click on a button, I want to save all this information, and then I want to load up the new page. So there's a couple of ways we can do the new page. We could use an ARF tag, such as a link, and when they click on the button, we could set it up and then move to another page type thing. But the best one to actually use is what's called a header redirect. So we use the command header, and this will actually open up a new file for us. And then we use the command location, and then we can actually give it the file name. So in our case, we just made the file called game.php. So we're asking it now to open this file. So once we've submitted, we've captured the information, we've generated the random number, we've stored all those in session variables, and then we've outputted some information. Then we're telling it to load the game.php. Just save that. And our game.php is just a h1 tag. So let's have a look and see how that works. So we'll go up the top, just press enter. Here we are, no session. I'm going to click on easy. There you go. This is the game page. The last thing I want to do is display the random number that we need to actually guess before we end this video. So let's set that up. You know we need to open up a PHP tag and also close that. And in here we need to start a session. This allows us to access all those session variables. And then what I want to do is output the session variable. So from here, I'm just going to grab this echo and paste it in game.php. So therefore it should give me the title, and then it should give me the number to guess from the session that was generated on the index.php. Let's have a look and see if that works. So I'm just going to go back a page now because it's a new page that we loaded. I'm now going to click 1 to 100, and you can now see the number to guess is 11. You can see that game.php has been loaded, so I need to go back to index.php. I only click the 10,000. The number to guess is 194. I'll just click 10,000 again. You can see it's 2,998. So now we're actually carrying data from one page to another page, and now we can build this page up where the user enters their guess and we tell them if they're correct, too high or too low.